Thank you, Ralia. Wow. You know, she mentioned that she hadn't had coffee. I haven't had coffee either this morning. So let's see how this goes. I want to take you visually on a trip. I want you to follow me on a Saturday afternoon down to the Don Haskins Center. It's an afternoon where anticipation has been high in on this basketball game. You walk into the Don Haskins Center and you see a packed crowd, a sea of orange. I want you to hold that thought for a minute. El Paso area high schools collectively have about 12,000 graduating seniors every year. About the same amount of people that you would see at the Don Haskins on that packed afternoon. Listen to this. Every day in this nation, 7,000 students drop out of school. Every day. So imagine that you walk into the Don Haskins Center and half of that crowd walks out before the game even starts every day. $260,000. $260,000. That is what each dropout over their lifetime costs this nation. Over the next 10 years, that's a staggering $3 trillion loss to this nation. This comes from Cecilia Rouse, professor of economics of Princeton University. So let me put that in a local perspective. If there is a loss over the lifetime of every dropout of $260,000, and by the way, in El Paso, we have about 1,000 dropouts per year. Per the school year, that's about 5.5 per day. You can do the math. Multiply the 260,000 by the number of dropouts daily, and by my calculations, that is a built-in loss to this community of $1.4 million per day. Why is that important? It affects every one of us. It affects our taxes. It perpetuates the cycle of poverty and illiteracy. It's a $260,000 loss of purchasing power. Everybody that's in business understands how staggering that amount is and how difficult it is for a community to maintain its vibrancy when that is happening. Social programs like welfare continue to skyrocket. Crime is more than likely to continue to increase. And there is the negative impact that our city has to overcome when trying to recruit new industry. There is clear evidence that from birth until 5 years old, a child undergoes tremendous growth and change. If this period of life includes support from responsible, nurturing, involved parents, that child is more likely to succeed in life and later contribute back to society. Without this support, a child is more likely to drop out of school, receive welfare benefits, and commit crime. So says regional economic analyst Ron Grunwald in an article from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis 9th District. Creating that responsible, nurturing, and stable environment is what Avance is all about. Nobel Prize winner James Hickman says this: investment in birth to 5 early education for disadvantaged children helps prevent the achievement gap, reduces the need for special education, increases the likelihood of healthier lifestyles, lowers the crime rate, and reduces overall social costs. Avance's model has shown When the parents of these children are part of that investment, the results can be dramatic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our city, our region, our responsibility. 995 days ago, I attended a dinner at an Avance board meeting, at a Avance board member's home. For me, this evening was an eye-opening event. This is the first time that I had heard the Avance story. It's a story about two distinct groups of children, one residing in the optimism of their parents' hearts, while the other one lurks in the skepticism of society. That evening I saw and I heard Avance mothers telling their story about being uneducated, unable to speak English, no parenting skills, no hope. They didn't even know what they didn't know. They were mired in that cycle of poverty and illiteracy. Once in the Avance program, their lives began to be transformed. Learning parenting skills, taking responsibility for their children's future, they became empowered. They were now the role models that those children needed. While becoming proficient in English, they also earned their GED. Some were furthering their education right here at community college, others at UTEP. Their future rested in their hands, where it should have been all along. And every one of them welcomed that responsibility. These were mothers that grasped the importance of parenting and of being their first teacher in their child's life, and the most important one. Their children, while being standout students in school, were also being transformed from lurking in the skepticism of society's minds to joining those residing in the optimism of their parents' hearts. The likelihood of these children succeeding in school and in life, and later contributing to society, has risen exponentially. That evening I realized what I had heard was the fundamental story of how giving someone self-responsibility is empowering and transformational. I saw an organization in Avance that was a hand up, not a hand out. This was an opportunity for me to get involved in a program that is part of the solution. I'll close with this. The children from these families are on their way to becoming not only tomorrow's doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, but our future community leaders, and yes, contributors to society. One more thing. For these families, the cycle of poverty and illiteracy has been broken. Welcome, welcome to the world of Avance.